What's up to the guy?
How's it feel to just be out there doing a little bit?
Man, it's a blessing. I can't lie. I almost shed a tear yesterday when I first got on that field. I never missed that much time before. So just the journey that I've been through, God's grace and guidance, just working through. Shout out to the medical team here at Indy. They definitely took care of me all summer, pushing me, dealing with me every day. I'm a lot to deal with. So it felt great to be back out there with the guys.
You said that was your first surgery? Not ever.
My first surgery, and since I've been in the league, I had a couple shoulders, in college. But yeah, thankfully, 8 years no surgery, which is a blessing in and of itself. But definitely a different transition. They've been like trying to get me to take an off day for like 3 years, and I've been telling them hell no. So God scheduled some off days for me, and
that's what it took.
yeah, that's what it took. So, but now I'm back out. So
Next time they want you to take it off, they take it off.
we'll talk about it
Lesson there, I think.
for sure.
When you were waiting to get back out there, were you confident it would come soon, or are you starting to have questions of when's this going to happen, or just kind of where were you at mentally with some of it?
Man, I've just watching so many guys throughout the years, when they get hurt. And, when you're on that rehab process, it's so easy to, get disconnected from the team, and kind of, really be, by yourself. That's when, a lot of that mental stuff starts to weigh on you. I just was very intentional, just making sure I was still locked in with the guys, whether that was at practice and meetings, in the building, just trying to still be very much present. And then, honestly, when it came to my rehab, it was a process. I didn't take anything personal. I gave myself grace. I committed to my journey and my plan, trusted the trainers that I had around me, and whether, it was a step back or a step forward, I took everything a day at a time. So
they told us that you, I guess, have been dealing with this for a little while. What made you finally go through and say, okay, I probably need to go under the knife and get this thing going? Man,
so it was something that actually happened back in Minnesota, believe it or not. At the time, I'm not the only one, but if everybody on this team listed the list of things that's wrong with them, y'all would have a full day of articles. It was just something at the time we just tape up and go through. It was something that's supposed to pretty much heal and get better over time. We got back for the spring, and I had already been training, already been working out, was doing some drills. Some things wasn't feeling right. Got a scan, and then just in the best interest for us to get it taken care of. That way we go into the season with a clean bill of health, because it was something that could be solved and wouldn't cause much other problems. So obviously it was a tough situation. I'm a guy that I want to do I want every rep. I want from OTAs to mini camp to I'm not the type of person that likes watching practice and stuff. So, but it was something that we had to take care of for the season moving forward.
So how limited are you, and how much do you think they'll let you do in Baltimore?
Obviously, it's a day at a time. I got back out there today, 7 on. Introduced myself to Tyler. I told him I would sooner or later. A couple other guys I need to meet on the team too. Yeah, man, we just look day by day. I'm in my process. I'm just glad to be out there with my brothers.
Joe Hibachi, I guess, helped you throughout the process. He said he's been super close with you already and just going through the playbook. So how is that relationship with him?
Man, Joe's a cool dude, man. I like Joe, man. He's been extremely helpful. Obviously, he's played with Lou for 4 years. So as we continue to learn and grow through the playbook, there's lessons that he's went through or watched guys go through that he's able to help us and bridge us through. He's been extremely helpful. We got a great culture in our linebacker room. Even though a lot of those young guys haven't played a lot of actual snaps, the competition in there is fierce, but there's no backbiting. Everybody's helping each other, and it's raising the level of play of every single person in that room. So obviously Joe's been a big help, but just love the competition and the competitiveness of everybody in that room.
I'm sure you've seen some of the plays the secondary's been making while you've been out, just to have Ward and Bynum and guys like that. So what's your excitement just to kind of get back and play with those guys for the first time?
Oh, man. That was probably the hardest part of, the last 2 weeks is just, I watch our defense and, with Mooney, Cam, obviously K-Mo out there, young Wiley, that D-line, Latu heating up, Buck, Grove, I was itching to get out there, not only just to be out there to compete with my guys, but, I just see my place in this thing. And, it feels good for me to be out there and so we can start getting that one band, one sound and get the hunting together.
You talk injuries are part of this. How do you react when you see Ahmed go down and carted off like that?
Man, I love Savon. I mean, I've known Savon for about 9 years. I knew him back when he was at UW, back when I was training in Seattle as a young pup. Extremely tough. Praying for him, loving on him. I'm obviously shoot him a text. I know he's probably going through all kind of mental stuff right now. It's a tough situation. Young Trey, I mean, he's competing for a job, straight up, so he's out here trying to compete and trying to be better. And, we're warriors on that field. When we step on that field, we understand what the possibilities are. Obviously, we're a team, so we're not trying to hurt each other, but at the same time, we're competing. These guys are trying to feed their family, so it's a part of the game. But definitely a tough break for Zavon. Definitely praying for him.
Hey, real quick, Shane said that he talked to some of the leaders on the team because at that point you could end practice, but he said he thought it was important to finish, and you guys told him let's go and let's get the work done. Were you part of that at all? Or did you have thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be extreme, but our defensive staff was in Cincinnati when they played Buffalo. Like they had to go play that. Well, they didn't play, but that's an extreme situation. But it's just certain things are a part of the game, and it's like as sad as that stuff is, and we all hurting. We all love Savon. Savon's a great guy in the building. He's one of those guys when you see him, you just happy to see him, So like obviously we all feeling that emotionally, but at the end of the day, we got to win. We got to compete. We got to keep growing. We got to keep grinding. Like this team is on a process. There's guys out here that need those reps to compete and get better. Like we trying to be the best teams that we could be so we could win, and like we got to keep pushing ourselves. And as tough as the situation is, we needed an opportunity, and honestly, it was an opportunity for us to grow and push through that, and continue to be physical, continue to play the game that we love, the way it's supposed to be played.
What do you think's led to? You're having a really good camp. What do you think's led to this camp for you so far?
I would say, just the work that I put in the off season. I felt confident, going to my third year in the offense, and I would just say, just staying ready. Any opportunity that you get, you got to make the most of it, and that's what I want to do. I want to show, the coaches and the team that I can be a valuable member and help the offense in any way. So I think that's been the biggest thing for me is just take advantage of the opportunities and keep making plays.
How much of it has been being healthy?
Being available is big time, and I think this off season I really honed into that of I got to do whatever I got to do to stay healthy, whether it's soft tissue or whatnot. So that's been obviously very helpful for me, and I want to continue being available. So it's been big.
Was last year frustrating? You had a really promising rookie year, got to play a lot and make a lot of catches. Last year, maybe not as much. Was last year tough?
I don't think it went the way that any of us wanted to end. And obviously I would love to play more, and but I think it's just it's this what I said. It's when you get your opportunity, you got to make the most of it, and sometimes it just doesn't work out that way. Whatever the team needs me to do, that's what I'm going to do. And last year just didn't happen that way, and this year, I want to change that. I want to make myself available and just make the opportunities. So
Did you do anything differently to prepare for the season, body-wise or training-wise?
I train at the same place that I always do, and I think I just, I think going into your third year in the offense, you feel very comfortable in the scheme and everything. And I think when you do that, then that, gives you the ability to kind of start focusing on, okay, you kind of add a little bit of your own, to it, a little bit of your own touch to, getting open to your routes and whatnot. So I think that has been the biggest thing for me. And then just, being more confident in my ability in the run game. I just want to show, the coaches that I can do whatever they ask me to.
This tight end group's seen a good bit of change. Kylan left free agency and Tyler is in there. Is this like a clean slate for you guys? Even though it's still Tom Manning, it's still Shane. How much of a clean slate is this for you guys?
The guys that we have in there are great, from Coach Tom to the veterans all the way down to the rookies with Tyler and Max. It's a great room, and I think we really get along together. It's obviously competitive, but I think we all genuinely want to get better, and we want to see each of us, do well. So we all push each other and we encourage each other. But the room is great, and I absolutely love working with all of them.
We hear a lot about how just tight end is one of the more difficult transitions from college to the NFL. Just how much more ready and confident and comfortable do you feel now when you think back to your first camp or last year?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, going into my third year, you definitely feel more comfortable. And the tight end position is one that takes time to develop. For me, obviously, I'm not Mo. I'm not going to be his size. So in the run game, that's taking time for me, and I want to continue to improve on that and keep showing that like I said, I can do more than just receiving. So yeah, definitely third year in, you feel really confident, and the guys around us, we work well together. So we're all feeling really good for this year.
When Savon went down, the entire team came over there to pray for him. Why was that important for you all to do as a team?
I think this team does a great job of being together, and we're there for each and every one. So seeing one of our brothers go down, it's obviously very tough, and we just got nothing but thoughts and prayers for him, well as wishes. So we're there for him in the ups and downs. That's for everybody. So seeing that obviously hurts, and we're there for him no matter what.
Will you have the Baltimore practice on Tuesday? How important are sessions like that to go against other competition, and what are you guys looking to get out of that on Tuesday ahead of the preseason game?
Yeah, absolutely. I think when you do the 2 weeks or so of going against each other, you get a great competition, obviously, but then now you get to go play someone else, and we get to see how we match up, and it's a great opportunity for all of us to go out there and improve. Coach Shane had mentioned in the beginning of how we want to set that edge, for our team, and this is a great opportunity for us to go do that. So we're excited for the opportunity to go up there and play a good team. So we're just going to go up there, work our tail off and keep improving.